Welcome to this edition of On Tap, presented by FCSI the Americas. I'm Wade Kaler, Executive Director. On Tap this week, I've got the CEO of the longest tenured food service consulting firm, I believe in the U.S., maybe even the world. She got her start in marketing and has worked her way up all the way to running the entire globe herself now. Please welcome Miss Kathleen Held from Cini-Little. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Wade.
Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you asking.
Absolutely. Well, today is just a regular type get to know each other conversation. We're kind of letting the audience kind of get to know who our members of FCSI are and what we kind of do for a living. It's such a varied membership from person to person. So to get things really started, though, is just tell me a little bit about your background, how you got your start with Cini-Little, and then also obviously with food service, the hospitality industry. But how you got your start that came all the way to CEO now?
I actually have an interesting background in how I came to Cini-Little and how I came to the food service industry. I actually joined Cini-Little unofficially in college.
Okay.
And worked for the company on breaks and summers throughout my college career. My mother was actually an employee of Cini-Little. She was the director of estimating for the firm for over 25 years.
Okay.
So I actually grew up from the age of probably 9 or 10,
okay,
knowing John Cini and Bill Eaton and the Cini-Little family.
Nice. I had no idea about that. That's great to know. So obviously you graduate from college. Do you work anywhere else, or do you come straight to work from Cini?
I had some offers to work some other places, and they obviously offered me a position at Cini-Little to come into the marketing team as a marketing coordinator, and I accepted the position.
Nice. So you've been with them for how long now? I don't want to put an age on you, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway.
It's actually, if you take in all the years that I interned with Cini-Little, I've been here over 25.
Wow. Congratulations. That's amazing. So, but last year you became CEO of the company. Tell me about that transition. I mean, how is it different? How has your life changed now going from marketing to running the entire company?
It's been kind of crazy, but this is a position that I have actually been groomed for a number of years. So it's always been in my future. Mm-hmm. With the company. The timing was not exactly where we thought it would come.
As it never is.
As it never is. Going back many years, I never thought I'd be taking over Cini-Little during, a pandemic.
Exactly.
That's how it came to play.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to bring what is really a marketing-led approach to Cini-Little, which is an approach that is different for the organization. And probably for most FCSI consultant organizations, because I do not have a design or food service consulting background.
Right. So what does your typical day consist of now? I mean, obviously it was always marketing. I've known you since you were doing that for them. So what is it now that now that you're running the company? How has it changed so much for you? Or has it?
Honestly, my day hasn't really, prior to becoming CEO, I was co-running the company for the last year with Dick Eisenbarth, who recently retired in October. Mm-hmm. And that was what we kind of called my training wheel here. And so that hasn't really changed much because we were pretty much co-running the company. Mm-hmm. But I pretty much have conversations with almost all of our management staff on a daily basis, if not definitely weekly basis. I try to touch base with a lot of our other staff monthly just to see how they're doing, especially during the pandemic. Yeah. At Cini-Little, we are a family, and work-life balance is really important to us, and the relationships we have with our staff. Mm-hmm. So it's really important that, they see me as somebody, even though I'm not sitting in an office with them, especially now, but I am somebody that they can come to and talk to about anything.
With Cini, what is there? I know you guys are multifaceted. So, but is there three or 4 or 5 segments that you guys really focus in, or do you really branch out to anything that has a commercial kitchen in it.
I honestly, when I'm telling people what the company does, I say, in theory, the only thing we don't do of large scale for food service consulting is we don't do too many standalone restaurants.
Okay. That's fair.
Everything else is pretty much in our wheelhouse.
Is there a reason for that, or just that's always been the philosophy and we've kind of stuck with that because that's our wheelhouse is the other?
It's a philosophy that's kind of grown over time. Every time we've done standalone restaurants, it has to do with finances. You know, a lot of them don't have their financial structure in place.
Yeah.
The liability for the company. A lot of them don't know what they want, or they think they know what they want, and it just puts us in a difficult position because we really want to be able to help our clients and consult. And we've just found them to be a little more difficult to do that with.
Sure. What would you say? What's one thing about Kathleen Held that no one would ever guess? Like, what's something that, whether it's a hobby or a habit or something from your background that nobody would ever guess about you?
Well, I think most people know I have 4 children, 4 sons.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize that I'm old enough to have 4 children, and all 4 of them are actually boys.
Yeah, you have a very testosterone-fueled house at home, obviously.
I do.
I bet they keep you hopping at home.
They definitely keep me hopping. I live in a locker room, is what my husband likes to say.
I can see that for sure. Absolutely. If you're talking to a group of college students, what's one piece of advice you would give to them about becoming a food service consultant?
I hope it's something that they're passionate about. I think that's one thing that I've learned from everybody I've met at Cini-Little and in this industry. It's an industry that is filled with people who are very passionate about their career choice to be food service consultants. And that knowledge is power, so seek as much as you possibly can.
That's a good one. I like that a lot. If you weren't in the food service industry, if you'd have gone a different path, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
I actually have a degree in history and art history.
Really? What? Okay, so I'm always curious about that.
I was accepted to law school out of college, and I did not pursue that.
Wow. Okay. So do you think you would have gone to law, or do you think you would have become a history teacher or something else?
I think I quickly decided that I would never be a good teacher. And I'm learning that very well now, that was a good career choice.
Yes.
But I would have loved to have been an attorney, but I chose love over that.
Yeah. Well, that's not a bad choice. Do you have a professional or personal mantra that you live by, or words you like to live by?
Well, I think I said it. Knowledge is power, and I'm always learning. I'm an advocate for always learning.
Okay. I like that.
I will never have enough knowledge, and I will never know everything.
That's a good. I agree. We should, and that's the way everybody should be. I believe we should never think we know everything. What do you think your best marketing effort has been? Like, what's the one campaign or symbol or whatever it is you can look back on and go, that was the one that did it?
There's a lot to be talked about with like strategic marketing and
Sure.
positioning the firm and introducing thought leadership into Cini-Little with our blogs and all that.
Yeah.
But I kind of go back to the relationship building and the pursuits that we've been on. I think back over the years to some of the very large, complex project pursuits that we went on, and positioning of ourselves in those relationships to help us win those, and then writing the proposal and winning the project, but then following the project and the relationship through construction.
Nice.
Is really gratifying, and to see the end result of that.
What is one either mobile app or online software that you recommend that everybody should check out?
For my marketing background, I have to say it's a good CRM system.
Really? Is there any in particular you recommend, or?
Well, as you know, Cini-Little is an independent food service consultant, so we'll never advocate any better one over another.
Good lead in. I like that. Well done.
But we do utilize a software package that's specially designed for the AEC community, which food service consultants fall into, and it has an integrated accounting package, which is a time saver for us. and advocate that all of our staff embrace it and utilize it, because, you know, knowledge is power. So the more information in it, the better it is for us to help manage the company and build our relationships and
Sure.
Be profitable.
And how many offices do you guys have now throughout the world?
How many offices are we paying rent for? Because everyone's working from home now.
Yeah, that's a good point. But let's go with where you normally would have an office.
I think right now we have 9.
Okay. That's
9 offices in the North America, and then we have 2 offices internationally in Tokyo and Sydney.
nice. Well, congratulations again for that. That's kind of all the questions I've got for you as far as regular questions go. I like to end things on a little bit of a fun note, a little bit lightheartedness. So if you can indulge me on this, I've got a game of Would You Rather. I'm going to go through some scenarios and just tell me what you would rather do, and we're going to peek behind the curtain of Kathleen Held a little bit on her personality, I think, on this. So to start off with, would you rather be covered in snakes or bees?
Snakes.
Snakes. Be able to sing or be able to dance?
Sing.
Would you rather own a restaurant or own a dollar store?
A restaurant.
Would you rather give up TV for a year or give up the internet for a year?
TV.
Be able to teleport anywhere in the world or be able to read minds?
Teleport.
Would you rather have all the traffic lights you approach turn green or never have to stand in line again?
Never have to stand in line again.
Would you rather see your future or fix your past?
Fix my past.
Have unlimited first-class plane tickets or never have to pay for food at restaurants?
Unlimited first-class plane tickets.
Only be able to use a fork and no spoon, or be able to use a spoon and no fork?
A spoon.
A spoon? Kathleen, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. You've served on the conference planning committee. You've served on marketing committees. It's always great a chance to get to talk to you, and I appreciate everything you've done for FCSI over the years. And I keep looking forward to what you're going to do next, not only professionally with Cini-Little, but obviously what you're going to do to help FCSI, because I know that you're a big believer in us, and we are of you. So again, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. How can people reach out to you? Is there anything you want them to know about Cini-Little, or how can they reach out to you and the company to find out more about you guys?
Oh, obviously visit our website,
Okay.
www.cinilittle.com,
Okay.
or reach out to me directly.
That wraps up this edition of On Tap presented by FCSI Americas. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to help us spread the word by liking and subscribing the page, and check back next week when we welcome another FCSI member consultant to the channel. Until then, cheers.